Hey, old garage here again. Got to go with the American flag this time. And then Squarebody Syndicate banner. Check that side out. I like Squarebody Syndicate. Just picked up these Squarebody hubcaps. I went to a salvage yard in Colorado and picked up some pretty cool parts. Original 73 steering wheel, and then this one's like a 75 or maybe a 76 to 80 model steering wheel. And then I got obviously my truck came with the original GMC, but I found this horn button at the salvage. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the old Squarebody here, camper special. She's all original, except for the wheels and tires. I went with the Pro Comp wheels. That's the spare wheel actually. They're 8 lug obviously. This is a 3/4 ton camper special truck. It's the GMC Sierra Classic C25 they call it. It does have the original 454. I'll go over all these mods in a minute. As you can see, I've got a few things done to it. Special shout out to my dad, JT Ingram. He used to rebuild quadrajet carburetors back in the day, and pretty much all carburetors, but he definitely liked his quadrajets. So he had a few on his cars as well. We took this one down. We took it down all the way and put a kit in it and cleaned it up really nice. Everything's all original. This is the original carburetor from the truck. We went to quadrajetparts.com. I ordered a kit for it. It started right up. It fired right up. So yeah, thanks to my dad. We actually rebuilt that carburetor during Christmas one year. I guess it was a couple years ago. Everyone was opening presents, and him and I were outside in his garage rebuilding that quadrajet. But yeah, so I got this truck a couple years ago out of a field in Belle Plain, Kansas. It's the original 454 truck. It's a pretty sweet ride. I'm trying to keep it as stock as possible, but yet, you know, bring her back to life. She is a factory AC truck. I did go through the brake lines, the brake system. I put a new master cylinder on and all new lines. I've got all new brakes. I went through the drum brakes on the back and put new wheel cylinders in. I've got new calipers up front, new rotors, new wheel bearings. It's been gone through. The dash was kind of falling apart whenever I got the truck, and then the gauge cluster. There was a wood grain piece on here that I would really like to have back, but it kind of fell off. I did go in and replace some light bulbs in the gauge cluster, and then kind of just painted it black. And then I picked up this new clear lens piece. Well, it was in better shape than mine out of that salvage yard in Colorado that we just went to. The steering wheel, when I got the truck, it was like ooey gooey, nasty, slimy. So I took that off, and I got the battery disconnected right now, but I took that off and I put this aftermarket steering wheel on here. It's kind of cheesy, but I like it still. And I got the GMC button on there. This is the original seat. The original green vinyl, you can see it. It's got some wear on it, but I went ahead and threw this saddle cover over. It's got the pockets in the front like everybody wants. You can put stuff in there. I kind of built this. I'm kind of a turned wood guy, I guess. I'm not real good at it, but I built this out of some MDF and stuck in there. Put those 6.5 JBLs in. It sounds pretty good. I got these. These are actually stainless steel cup holders off of Amazon. They're for boats. I just drilled those out and put those in. And if I want to take this out, I can. You can remove it. It's just I did upgrade the stereo. It had an old 8-track in here, but it wasn't working really well. I did cut the dash, so everybody can hate me on that, but I kind of like the old school CD player, like from the 90s. It reminds me of the trucks I had when I was growing up. I always put stereos in my vehicles and kind of upgraded the sound. That was the first thing I did. But it sounds pretty good. I put this SunPro tack in here. I think it was like $40 or something off of Amazon. This truck has 46,000 original miles on it. So the guy that I bought it from, I talked to him, and he said that they are the original miles, and it sat for 10 years. The rockers look really good. There's a couple spots here on the cab corners, but it's not rusted through. And I put all new door seals in. I did take the carpet out because it was rotten, but I'm gonna put some new carpet in one day. But I mean, it's got a little surface rust on it, but it's not too bad. But yeah, it's a fairly loaded out truck. This crank broke off, but I'll get another one. I did put all new weather stripping in, as you can see. I put all that in. I put it in here too. I also installed these little plastic strikers. Kind of helps shut the door. Makes it a little easier. The bed's in pretty good shape. I've got a lot of stuff in the back right now, but it's got the original bed mat in it. This sliding back glass is not original. I don't know what it was made for, but it really doesn't fit the contour of the back of the window of the truck, but I still kind of like it. It looks kind of cool. It doesn't leak water. So I think I'm gonna leave it alone. Obviously, yeah, it needs a windshield in it. But hey, I mean, yeah, she's a work in progress. It did have the camper special mirrors on here. You can see the holes. I took those off and got these from these, I think they're called below the eye line mirrors, which are kind of my favorite for square body trucks. I got these from Auto Metal Direct, and they actually came with the hardware and everything, and they're really solid. They're not like flimsy or nothing. And I actually just bolted them in. Those front 2 bolt holes lined up perfect for the original tow mirrors. But I mean, the door's shut good. This white paint's coming off the front fenders just from setting. It's just kind of a patina looking truck. I'm just gonna kind of like put it back together as is and run and drive it, use it. I really like these General Grabber tires and wheels. It had the original 16.5-inch white tires on, or the white wheels on there, the camper wheels. They were okay, but they were steel and they were really rusted out really bad. And just for peace of mind, I put some different wheels on there for safety. I do have the original hubcaps up there on the wall. GMC ones are pretty rare, actually. Kind of jumping all over the place here, but I found this. So this little cowl piece right here, this plastic piece, was all rotten off of mine, and I found this one in a salvage yard, and I just recently put that on. Yeah, the hood actually not been on this truck, which is pretty rare. I did lube up the hinges really well. So we'll talk about some engine stuff going on here. Okay, so I did pull the valve covers off. So this is the original engine. 46,000 miles on it. The first thing I did was somebody had the starter wired backwards. So I got under there and I found out that the polarity on the starter was backwards. I don't know if that's why they didn't drive it for 10 years or sat, or if somebody messed with it. Also, the carburetor was really plugged up. Like I said, me and my dad went through that. I did put a new Hei Distributor in, AC Delco brand. It did have one on there, the exact same color. It was black, and it was. So this is the first year for the Hei Distributor GM. So I just try to put it back factory. The only real upgrade I've done is this exhaust system. I've got Hooker competition long tube headers on here. And then I've got these MSD wires on here. I think they're 8mm wires. They're pretty solid. And I just changed the oil in it, and it's been running. It runs great. I did put a new alternator on. I couldn't get the old one to charge. Obviously, I've got new upper and lower radiator hoses just for safety. I did put a new fuel pump on there. It's just the mechanical Carter AFB fuel pump on there. These heater hoses are factory. A lot of these lines are factory fuel line. I did put a new water pump on here. That is a bypass. That is a new bypass hose right there. The valve covers were leaking a little bit of oil, so I went ahead and pulled them off and put new valve cover gaskets on there. And I just kind of freshened up those valve covers. They were originally orange like that, so I think it looks pretty tough. But yeah, as far as like the bottom end and the intake manifold's never been off. It's just the original Quadrajet cast iron intake manifold on there, which is massive and heavy. But she's plain Jane, but she sounds pretty good. Shout out to Optima batteries. Actually, this battery right here has been in 3 different cars, and I bought it in September 30th in 2011. And it's still going strong. I've had it, like I said, I've had it in 3 different cars. I've had it in a lawnmower, and it just won't quit. So I'm gonna use it. And then also shout out to Optima. I've got this new charger, and these little clips hook right up. They're pretty awesome. I can just pull it on in here and charge the battery right up. And it kind of hangs on the wall right there and tells you your status and everything. So yeah, shout out to Optima batteries. They're $200+ a piece, but that red top will get you where you need to go. It is kind of ghetto rigged in there. It's got a piece of wood under it. The factory battery tray is rotten. I couldn't find one of those at the salvage yard for this year model, but you know, little strap there, here and there, worked just fine. Like I said, she's a work in progress. She does have some rust on her a little bit. Somebody left that battery in there and kind of got that front fender on the bottom side there. You can see that. But overall, I mean, not too bad for a 75. Like I said, I put on the door felts and seals in. These wing windows, you gotta re-rivet this rivet back in when you put new seals on, take the whole window out. There's a big giant long piece that comes down with a spring on it way down on the bottom of the door. You gotta set those in perfect. It's kind of a pain. But you know, just tinkering around every weekend with it and you'll finally get it. This side of the truck looks pretty good too. The doors look really good. The hinges aren't wore out. You know, they work really good. It shuts good. Like I said, this truck is the Sierra Classic, so it's got all the options from 75 that you would expect. The floors are in really good shape. The dash is cracked. I'm gonna leave it though. I like it. I don't mind it being cracked because it's just kind of a work truck. The headliner it did have a factory headliner in it, but I took it out because it was sagging, and I cleaned it up and just kind of left it like that. These are the factory visors. They're in pretty good shape. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of leave it alone. Just replace what needs to be replaced and then let her be. These are original seat belts. They're kind of cool looking, nostalgia. I'm gonna leave them. I did tighten up the hardware on them just for safety. I'll check. You can check this out. It's a pretty cool little setup I got back here. So I put some 6x9s in the back, but got some sound ordnance boxes I put back there. It's kind of take you back. Put some 6x9s in the back. A buddy of mine had one of these trucks in the 90s, and we used to cruise around in it, but he always had 6x9s behind the seat. Okay, so here's the basically like what's all came from the factory original on this truck. But anyway, it is a factory 454. It is a turbo 400 truck. It's got the 410 gears in the back. So I mean, it's just really loaded out. Camper special. It's pretty neat to see that, you know, that they kind of preserved it. It like I said, it wasn't a field setting, but I mean, it's 46,000 original miles. I'm still not done with it. The top is okay. It's got a little surface rust on it, but yeah, she's just a patina truck, and I'm gonna leave her like that. The bed's not rusted out. These bed rails are in pretty good shape. She's pretty straight looking. The body mounts actually are not rotten on it. I'll get under here, I'll show you. I've got an exhaust system going on right now. That door's a little harder to shut, but anyway, I put new door locks in. It's kind of hard to get all this and just trying to remember everything. Yeah, we'll go under here, I'll show you. This truck is, like I said, I got the hooker headers on here, super competition. They're 3-inch collectors right here. These mid pipes, I got them off of Summit Racing. I think I ordered those for like an 80s model Chevy, and they just bolted right up, and it went right above that cross member, or right below that cross member, and just bent up perfectly right there. And then I'll show you guys the mufflers that are going on right here. In my video that I have of running, you can hear it with the mufflers on it. 3-inch pipes. Kind of working on the fuel system right now again, but they'll come back into these tail pipes right here, and then it's 3-inch true duals all the way back. I don't have the complete tips yet, just on there just yet, but anyway, work in progress. Okay, so you can check out my new fuel tanks. I've got one over there, and then this one right here. These little plastic things, don't throw them away when you get new fuel tanks for your Squarebody. You need to put these back on because you can't find them anywhere. You can't buy them. If you can buy them somewhere, let me know. Besides eBay, used. You can't buy them new. I had to pull these out of a salvage yard, so they kind of protect the front of the tank from rocks and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, new fuel tanks, new fuel system. I'm putting a electronic valve on here, a new one for the dual tanks. It's kind of hard to see up in there, but you got 6 fuel lines coming up there. It's a hell of a deal, but when I get done, it'll be all new. That's the fuel tank
brackets, put new ones on, new hardware. The frame on this truck's solid. Yeah, got some Bilstein Shocks on there. Like I said, I went through all the wheel cylinders and brake shoes. All new lines running back there. Here's the back. That top tailgate piece, that trim piece, was gone when I got it. So I put a new one on. It does look kind of new on there, but I dented it with the hammer right there on accident, but I kind of think it pulls it off. Makes it look older since it's got a dent in it. But yeah, be careful. If you get these trim pieces, be careful putting them on, because they'll ding up real easy. Tailgate didn't work when I first got it, so I had to go in there and WD-40 and these little locks right here. You just got to beat them with a hammer and WD-40 them. That's the best way to explain it. It's kind of, I mean, that's kind of simple, but I mean, that's what you got to do. There's one on each side. They get stuck, but just a little bit of patience, some WD-40 and a hammer, and you know, don't go crazy with them, but just tap on them a little bit and then spray it, tap it, spray it. You know, you'll get it. Yeah, tailgate shuts good now. I got it to lock up. This tag's from 1982 on here. I don't know. Maybe she sat that long. I don't know. A lot of these pieces are getting hard to find. You can't find this back tailgate piece for GMCs. They're really rare if you can. I mean, maybe some new old stock, but when you go to LMC website and stuff like that, you can't find that piece right there, so that's pretty rare. This is the original gray bumper. It's even on the inside of the glove box. It tells you about it. Camper bumper. I don't know what this little hinge is for here on here. The original owner put that on there. I don't know if it's something to do with his camper, some kind of hinge or something, but if you know, let me know. I think that's kind of cool, so I just left it on there. I did put new, so I kept the original housings, but I put brand new tag lights in. They're those little chrome ones you buy for like $2 or $3 or whatever. Just stuffed them in from the back, and it looks kind of cool. But you know, it looks factory, but it's really not. Let me take you under here and show you. I did put this spare tire on here. It does not have a rim in it. I'm just test fitting it to make sure that it fit under there. I think I showed you that spare wheel that I have. I'm gonna eventually get that mounted and balanced and put it up there. This is the original spare tire carrier. I was making sure that 265/75 would fit on there, and it does. This is actually a general grabber as well, ATP they call it. I was going to try that one out. It's a little bit cheaper than the ATX, but yeah. Here's a shot of that 14-bolt original rear axle, full floater. Like I said, I put new brake lines on. Wheel cylinders, that is the original drums. They looked really good, or I would have had them turned, but they looked really good. They cleaned up real nice. I put some emery cloth on them and cleaned them up, and it looked fairly good, so I left them alone. It does stop good. That's those Bilstein Shocks I put on. I put some new ones on the front too. There's the pipes are going to come out kind of where the factory hangers are right there, but I can't decide if I'm going to run them out the sides behind the back tire or if I'm going to run them out the back bumper. Maybe you guys can help me out on that. I don't know. The original location was behind the back tires. It originally had duals on it right there. Thinking about running them out the back, though. I think they look pretty sweet. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah,
Original camper special, 75, GMC, C25. It's, you know, it's 2-wheel drive, but I think it's still a pretty cool little truck. Here's a shot of these are the original coils and everything. The truck set's really good, so I'm not gonna mess with those. I just put, you know, like I said, the Bilsteins on there, the shocks. Here's a shot of the new calipers. And you know, I used AC Delco everything I could. That brand new line right there, that's all AC Delco. Brake line. And then I got new hardware on the brake calipers and stuff like that. So, you know, just safety. The ball joints and stuff look pretty good. I greased them, and I think it'll be okay. It doesn't squeak. This wishbone, the factory wishbone, looks really stout and strong. You can tell nobody's hit nothing with it. You know, most of the work I got is underneath the truck. I know that those factory steering boxes are prone to going out, but that one, it turns good. And it doesn't, you know, I think it might leak a little bit, but it ain't too bad. Factory bumper right here, chrome. It's in good shape. This, since it's a camper special truck, it's got the factory, you know, sway bar on there. It's pretty good size too. This truck was exempt from emissions from 1975 because of the gross vehicle weight. You can see it right there. So it doesn't have the smog and all that stuff on the motor. So they rated it at 215 horsepower, but I'm here to tell you that it's got more than that. Speaking of horsepower, let me know what you guys think. Here's my muffler. My mufflers that I've already had on there. I just took them off so I could work on that fuel system. They are the Dynamax. I believe they're called the Ultra Flows. But yeah, they sound really good. You can hear that in that first video I posted. And then there's that Pro Comp spare tire, that wheel that I'm gonna throw up under there. I've got a 268H flat tappet cam that I'm probably gonna go ahead and put in pretty soon. Let me know what you guys think. That's a whole kit. That's springs. It's got you know, new lifters, valve guide seals, push rods. It's got the timing set with it and everything. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. It already sounds like it's kind of got like a cam in it. I don't know. It sounds pretty good. I really don't want to mess with it, you know, too much. But you know, the valve adjustment and everything, putting those new springs on. I don't know if I'll have to pull the heads or not. Let me know what you guys think. If I do any more upgrades to it, it'll probably be that intake manifold. I'll get an aluminum quadrajet manifold for it. I think Jegs has one for like 250 bucks. It's the GM Performance Parts brand. It's a spread board for like a quadrajet carburetor. But let me know what you guys think about that. The originals exhaust manifolds were just so rusted, and they had rat's nest built all up in them and everything. And I just ended up just sporadically buying these headers one day. But yeah, it sounds really good. I think it freed up some power too. But shout out to Felpro Gaskets for no oil leaks as of right now. And then another shout out to WD-40 with this little stretchy doohickey thing. You can get into a lot of tricky areas with that. Dawn Dish Soap Platinum and just a scrub brush. I clean that truck up, just a bucket and some elbow grease, and that's what's gonna get it done. I use this Armor All tire foam all the time. I love it. It's cheap, but it works really well, and it makes your stuff look good. I put it on the dash, everything. My dad does it too. Dash seats, I mean, It's Armor All. So, but I spray it on the rag and put it on the dash. I've put it on leather seats before, and it cleans that stuff off. This is a really good carpet cleaner, Tough Stuff. It's the cheaper one. You can get the blue coral. It works good too, but this brush is a little bit finer, and I don't know. It's not like plasticky. It's more like a fabric or something, and it cleans the carpet really well. That Tough Stuff right there. Meguiar's. This stuff is awesome. It makes it look show quality. This Mother spray wax is also really good on my white truck. Old Pearl out there. You guys have seen her on there, but anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. USA 1 Industries has good parts. LMC truck. They send me these catalogs all the time. Whatever you need. You know, if you guys are doing a Squarebody or an old Ford or anything, those parts are out there. You got to look for them, but they're out there. But yeah, like I said, I'm working on that fuel system. I put a new selector valve. Here's some of the parts that are going on. Thanks, guys and gals. She's a work in progress, but yeah. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and I'll see y'all in the next one.